I will be explaining what an abstract class is and the uses of an abstract class. So first of all, let's create the abstract class. I'm literally just going to name it abstract class. You can name this anything you like. There we go. Right, there we go. Abstract, just use the abstract keyword, which is in front of the class name. So now this is saying this is an abstract class and I cannot be instantiated. So let's do the public before we go into detail. Method, the main method, set main, string, drags. Here we go. Yeah, literally the only difference between an abstract class and a public class is that an abstract class cannot be instantiated, whilst a public class can. So if I wrote abstract class, let's just say ab is equal to new abstract class. Oh, God, I'll have an error. Let's say cannot instantiate the type abstract class. Abstract classes are really only useful as base classes, where subclasses can inherit common functionalities that this base class says that they can implement. So for example, if I created two classes which will inherit the abstract class, so let's just say piranha. Let's say this extends the abstract class. And we've got another one called goldfish. Oh, and this also extends the abstract class, so inherits all the properties and methods defined in abstract class. Now, if we created a method, an abstract method, so if we did public abstract void, let's do draw. This is an abstract method. An abstract method literally consists of a signature. It has no method body, no definition, and ends with a semicolon. It is there to literally tell the subclasses that inherit the properties from this base class that they have to either override this method or inherit it. So now when we go in here, we'll have an error. Let's say the type parameter must implement the inherited abstract method abstract class draw. So what that means is literally we have to create the method public this to public void draw. That's all that means. It just means you need to have a method of draw. So if I've saved it, the error will go away. And same here. So if we do public void draw, nice and simple. Let's write a message. So let's do system.out.println drawing object. And I'll write another one in here. So system.out.println, and let's say drawing another object. Save that. So essentially any subclass that inherits the abstract base class, so this class, must override or implement its abstract methods, which we've just demonstrated. So we've made an abstract method of draw, and we've made two subclasses that inherit from the abstract class that implement the draw method. Now we could simply, I'll show you two ways of doing it. The second way is awesome, so we could say to print them out, piranha p is equal to new piranha, then we do p dot draw. And then I could play this and everything will work fine. But now I'm going to show you the code example, which is a polymorphic array, and we'll be able to use a for loop in order to print out all of the subclasses methods. So first of all, let's do an array. So we say AbstractClass array, sorry, and then we'll call this. Let's just call this obj, because we obviously want an abstract equals to no abstract class, and we want to pass in 2. So now we've created an array, just like I've done in the last tutorial. I'll explain again. So we say obj. Obviously, this is the first item in our array, so this is going to be 0. So it's equal to new parameter. So now that's stored in the obj array, so stored in this object. Now I'll say obj1 is equal to new goldfish. There we go. Then all we can do is simply a full loop, so we could reference the abstract class. So we say abstract class. Give this a reference type, so we'll say print, and then we need to reference the array itself, so we can print out everything that's inside here. So now all we need to do now is literally say obj.draw, print.draw. This can be anything, so this is just a reference type to the object array. This could be, I don't know, BBB, and then all I need to do is BBB here. But look at this now. When I click play, it's really clever. It accesses all the subclasses and prints out the methods. Draw an object, draw another object. So say for example you had loads of objects, and all the objects just had a draw method, so draw it to the screen when you're making the game. But in the base class of the abstract class, you can literally add the subclasses to the array, and then with 2 lines of code, print every single object out, purely just by referencing that array. It's really cool. So I'll just recap again. An abstract class can be instantiated. It is essentially there to contain abstract methods that all the subclasses can implement. And it's as simple as that. It's there to say, hey, subclass, you have to implement the draw method. So essentially, it's really useful for when you don't need to instantiate any object in the base class, but it makes sense to instantiate objects in all the subclasses. So just like with the draw method, it doesn't make sense to instantiate the draw method in the base class because you technically don't need to draw the base class. But the subclasses, you need to draw all of them onto the screen. So it makes sense to have the draw method on all of them. It's also good, abstract class is also good to keep code safe and less buggy, because if you're in a development team and you had an abstract class and then you tell all the subclasses that extend it they have to implement this method, nobody could come along and delete it, because it'll give them an error and it'll tell them, hey, put it back. Awesome.